Good morning. Good morning, my friends. Thank you so much for coming to hang out with me. Today is Monday, August 19th, 2024. And this month has been flying by for me. I don't know about for you. Today is the supermoon, the super full moon. Happens only once every 10 years. So if you're feeling a little bit crazy today, just know that you're not alone. That's why they call it the lunar cycle. Well, they call it the lunar cycle, but that's why they call it the loony bin because people start going crazy around the full moon. Good morning. Good morning. Today we're going to look at the federal indictment with regard to the overdose death of Matthew Perry that tragically occurred last October of 2023 when Matthew Perry was found dead in his hot tub at his home in Hollywood. 5 people have been charged. 3 of them have taken plea deals, and 2 of them are facing a federal indictment that we're going to read today. Nope, I've got them. Thank you so much, Kestrel. I love how you guys help. It's so collaborative here, but I actually have the documents today, believe it or not. The K Queen is being held without bail, and the doctor who is still under indictment is out on a $100,000 bond. And it is very sad. We're going to take a look at this together and talk about it. So let me pull up the document and just make sure we have everybody in here who wants to be here. I like to give people a couple of minutes to get in. We had some really, really crazy thunderstorms here last night on the East Coast. It was insane. The amount of thunder and lightning and flooding. And I went to the movies with one of my daughters and we came out. And while we were in there, we could hear this storm on top of the roof. And we came out and there was like 2 feet of water in the parking lot. It was insane. It was insane. Good morning, Kel. Good morning, Team Brittany. K Queen put me into anger mode. Yeah. She was living the lavish life too. If you guys don't know who she is, I'm going to pull up a picture of her for you so you can get an idea of who we're talking about. If I could just find my, oh. Let's see what we can find. Private jets, lavish trip to Japan in the days leading up to his death. She also was involved in another overdose death of another man. And it's very tragic. For those of you who haven't seen her, this is Jasveen Sangha, also known as the K Queen. We're going to call it K for purposes of this stream because I don't want to even say the word in the first 5 minutes or YouTube is just not going to be happy about it. For some reason, when you talk about court cases and drugs, they think you're promoting drugs instead of talking about the dangers of them. And there she is. Her Instagram is still up. I pulled up a picture of her on yesterday's stream that she was tagged in. So she didn't post it. It looks like her brother posted it. And tell me what you think about who the other person in this picture may be. Thoughts? This is K Queen Jasveen on the right. I don't know. Looks to me like Charlie Sheen, but maybe it's a Charlie Sheen impersonator. I'm not too sure. But it could turn out that she is the drug dealer to the stars. And there could be a lot of people in Hollywood who are shaking in their boots right now if she cuts some sort of deal and her black book gets out. So let us take a look at the federal indictment, and then we'll talk about it. Thanks, Kayla, for becoming a new member. And I'm just a girl in the world for your early morning super chat. This case makes me so sad. It makes me so angry. I'm not ready to be sad and angry again after the Ashley Benefield, but here I am. Thank you. Thanks. I'm just a girl in the world for hanging in there. But if you can find something happy for me to cover, I would be happy to do it because I agree. We're dealing with a lot of tragedy lately and a lot of horrific things, but we're also talking about a lot of things that need to be talked about. I said I went to the movies last night. I took one of my daughters to see It Ends With Us. Anybody seen it yet? It's the new Blake Lively movie. It's about DV. And it is one of those things that we need to talk about with our kids, sons and daughters. It needs to be talked about more. It's not talked about enough, in my opinion. And if you know, you know. Very sad movie, but worth the watch. I had also read the book. It's a Colleen Hoover book called It Ends With Us. Let's get that out of here. Let's get this in here. This was filed on August 14th, 2024. And this is the federal indictment filed in the U.S. District Court for the Central District of California. This went to a grand jury in June of 2024. So, unbeknownst to us, there was a behind the scenes investigation going on this whole time since October. And this indictment is with regard to Jasveen Sangha, also known as the K Queen or the Ketamine Queen. Ketamine. And Dr. Salvador Placencia. They are charged with conspiracy to distribute K, distribution of K resulting in death, possession with intent to distribute meth, possession with intent to distribute and distribution of K, maintaining a drug-involved premises, altering and falsifying records related to a federal investigation, criminal forfeiture. And this is count one with regard to all defendants. And we're talking about all defendants here. We're only talking about the two that are still under indictment. The other three have taken plea deals, and they will be referred to in this document as co-conspirators. Introductory allegations. At times relevant to this first superseding indictment, defendant Jasveen Sangha, also known as AKA the Ketamine Queen, was a resident of North Hollywood, California, who used her North Hollywood residence, the Sangha Stash House, to store, package, and distribute narcotics, including K and meth. 2. Defendant Salvador Placencia, aka Dr. P, and co-conspirator Mark Chavez were medical doctors licensed to practice in the state of California. Defendant Placencia and co-conspirator Chavez had previously applied for and obtained authorization from the DEA to dispense, administer, and prescribe narcotics and other controlled substances so long as such prescriptions were for a legitimate medical purpose. 3. K was a Schedule III controlled substance that was FDA approved for induction and maintenance of general anesthesia during surgical procedures. I'm going to break from the document just to tell you that this reminds me of Michael Jackson and propofol and having a doctor on staff to administer it to him in his own home because he too suffered from the disease herein, which YouTube also doesn't like that word for some reason. I did a show on Matthew Perry initially when he first passed, and it was a great show. Didn't get a lot of play at the time. It was about the perils of loving someone who has that A word, which you can't even say. ADDICTION. You can't even say that on YouTube or they strike you. So go figure. It's his birthday today, Zimmy. Wow, that's crazy that I'm doing it on his birthday, this stream. Well, happy birthday in heaven to Matthew Perry. Thank you, Zimmy, from the bus stop. And I know so many of you, including Zimmy from the bus stop, have been with me since we covered the Maya Kowalski case, which coincidentally also had ketamine treatments as a factor in that case. And in that case, the young girl Maya Kowalski was undergoing medically K treatments in Florida. And I had Dr. Cave on my show to do a show about K therapy. Dr. Cave has a YouTube channel with, I think, over 1 million subscribers called Medical Secrets, and he runs a K clinic in San Francisco. And he told us that when used in proper doses and administered by a doctor, it is a drug that can be very helpful for depression, substance abuse, pain control, and other things, as long as it's under medical supervision. And you're going to see what happened in this case, and it's horrifying. Due to the medical risks associated with K, it was widely accepted in the medical community that a healthcare professional was required to monitor a patient who had just been given K. While monitoring a patient who had been administered K, it was necessary for the healthcare professional to have access to certain life-saving equipment, including a defibrillator, a supply of supplemental oxygen, equipment to monitor the patient's heart rate and breathing, and medication to ensure patient safety. 4. Defendant Sangha similarly knew that the unsupervised and improper use of ketamine can be deadly. As alleged in count 3, on August 26, 2019, defendant Sangha sold K to a customer, namely victim CM, who died of a drug overdose within a day of the drug deal. As a result, a family member of victim CM informed defendant Sangha of the death in a text message stating, "The K you sold my brother killed him. It's listed as the cause of death." Within days of receiving this text, defendant Sangha confirmed that K can kill by conducting a Google search for, quote, "Can K be listed as a cause of death?" Question mark, end quote. Another case in which Google searches may convict a person. 5. Co-conspirator Kenneth Iwamasa was a resident of Los Angeles County and employed as the live-in personal assistant to victim MP. MP is Matthew Perry. Co-conspirator Iwamasa had never received medical training and knew little, if anything, about administering and or treating patients with controlled substances, as defendant Placencia well knew. 6. Co-conspirator Eric Fleming was an acquaintance of victim Matthew Perry and a resident of Hawthorne, California. I'm going to break from this for a second to tell you that Eric Fleming, while he may currently have or be residing in Hawthorne, no disrespect to anyone who lives in Hawthorne, but it's not Beverly Hills. Eric Fleming used to be a Hollywood director, and at one time he directed Scarlett Johansson, according to an article in Cliché magazine. He also directed. Eric Fleming is 54 years old. He pled guilty on August 8th to 1 count of conspiracy to distribute K and 1 count of distribution of K resulting in death. He admitted to distributing 50 vials of K, half of them 4 days before Matthew Perry's death. Fleming faces up to 25 years in his federal case, and he did not respond to the Hollywood Reporter's request for comment. He directed a movie in 1999 starring Scarlett Johansson and Eva Mendes called My Brother the Pig. And he produced the first season of the reality show The Surreal Life in 2003, which featured Corey Feldman, Gabrielle Carteris, Vince Neil, and MC Hammer. He also produced Tyrone, which was a 1999 road trip movie starring Coolio and Entourage's Kevin Connolly. A little bit about Eric Fleming. 7. Defendant Placencia, co-conspirator Iwamasa, co-conspirator Fleming, and co-conspirator Chavez were aware that victim Matthew Perry had a history of drug abuse and addiction and that victim MP had sought on multiple occasions assistance to treat his drug addiction and to maintain his sobriety. B. Object of the conspiracy. Beginning on a date unknown and continuing until at least on or about October 30th of 2023 in Los Angeles County within the Central District of California and elsewhere, defendants Placencia and Senga conspired with co-conspirators Iruamasa, Fleming, and Chavez and others known and unknown to the grand jury to knowingly and intentionally distribute K, the Schedule III controlled substance in violation of Title 21 U.S. Code, Sections 841A1, 841B1, E1. C. Manner and means of the conspiracy. The object of the conspiracy was to be accomplished in substance as follows. 1. Co-conspirator Iruamasa would communicate with other co-conspirators, including defendant Placencia and co-conspirator Fleming, about purchasing K to distribute to Matthew Perry. 2. The co-conspirators would use encrypted messaging applications and coded language to discuss drug deals, including referring to bottles of K as Dr. Pepper, cans, and bots. I don't know personally if those are words that are typically used to describe drugs in code. Maybe some of you know, and you can let me know. What encrypted messaging apps do you think they were using? We're seeing this in a lot of cases lately. Signal, I know, is one that is a favorite of people doing illegal things or perhaps having affairs. 3, after discussing K orders with co-conspirator Iwamasa, co-conspirator Fleming and defendant Placencia would communicate with their K sources of supply, including defendant Senga and co-conspirator Chavez, respectively, about inventory, price, and availability of K to sell to co-conspirator Iwamasa and victim MP. Kim hates these people. Pauline says Michael Jackson would refer to propofol as milk. Yeah, vials. It was liquid. Yes, JP. It was liquid, and his assistant was injecting him with it. Whitney says, I've had a few K infusions for severe chronic pain and felt like I was given a date R word drug. It should never be used outside of a medical setting. Yeah. Matthew Perry described the drug at one point as making him feel like he was dying. And you're going to see how many shots his assistant gave him on the day of his death. These people were, in my opinion, not only enabling him, but taking advantage of him, taking his money, and in doing so, they killed him. 4, defendant Senga would operate and maintain the Senga Stash House in North Hollywood, California, which defendant Senga would use to store, package, and distribute narcotics, including providing K to co-conspirators Fleming, so that co-conspirator Fleming could sell it to victim Matthew Perry. 5, co-conspirator Iwamasa would meet with co-conspirators, including defendant Placencia and co-conspirator Fleming, to purchase K for victim Matthew Perry. 6, defendant Placencia would distribute K to co-conspirator Iwamasa and victim Matthew Perry outside the usual course of professional practice and without a legitimate medical purpose, including by teaching co-conspirator Iwamasa how to inject victim Matthew Perry with K, selling K to co-conspirator Iwamasa to inject into victim Matthew Perry, injecting K into victim Matthew Perry without the proper safety equipment, and failing to properly monitor victim MP Matthew Perry after defendant Placencia injected MP with K. A lot of initials here. 7, using the instructions and syringes provided by defendant Placencia, co-conspirator Iwamasa would inject victim Perry with the K that was sold to co-conspirator Iwamasa by defendant Placencia, co-conspirator Fleming, and defendant Sanga. 8. On October 28th, 2023, using syringes provided by defendant Placencia, co-conspirator Iwamasa injected Perry with multiple doses of the K he received from co-conspirator Fleming and defendant Sanga, resulting in the death and serious bodily injury of victim Perry. D. Overt acts. So anytime you have a conspiracy, you have to show that there were overt acts in furtherance of said conspiracy. And here are the overt acts that are alleged in the federal indictment. On or about the following dates, in furtherance of the conspiracy and to accomplish its object, defendants Placencia and Sanga and others known and unknown to the grand jury committed various overt acts within the Central District of California and elsewhere, including, but not limited to, the following. Defendant Placencia and co-conspirator Chavez conspire to sell K to victim Perry. Overt act number 1. On September 30th, 2023, after learning that victim MP was interested in obtaining K, defendant Placencia contacted co-conspirator Chavez about purchasing K so that he could sell a K to victim Perry. Overt act number 2. On September 30th of 2023, in text messages with co-conspirator Chavez, defendant Placencia discussed how much to charge victim Perry for K, stating, quote, "I wonder how much this moron will pay." End quote, and quote, "Let's find out." Overt act number 3. On September 30th, 2023, co-conspirator Chavez confirmed he was willing to sell K to defendant Placencia and then sent a photograph of K lozenges that co-conspirator Chavez had previously obtained by writing a fraudulent prescription in the name of VB without VB's knowledge or consent, herein known as the fraudulent VB prescription. Here's a copy of it. Here's a box of K lozenges. And you'll see that if you bought enough from Sanga, she'd throw in an extra goodie bag of K lollipops as a bonus. Overt act number 4. On September 30th of 2023, in text messages, co-conspirator Chavez and defendant Placencia arranged to meet in Costa Mesa, California, so that defendant Placencia could obtain liquid K and the fraudulent VB prescription from co-conspirator Chavez. Overt act number 5. On September 30th of 2023, co-conspirator Chavez met with the defendant Placencia in or around Costa Mesa, California, within the Central District of California, and sold defendant Placencia at least 4 vials of liquid K lozenges from the fraudulent VB prescription, gloves, and syringes. A lot of middlemen involved here, but they were all in it together. Defendant Placencia leaves K with co-conspirator Iwamasa and teaches co-conspirator Iwamasa how to inject K. Overt act number 6. On September 30th of 2023, in text messages to victim MP, defendant Placencia confirmed he planned to leave vials of K with victim Perry for self-administration, stating, "I will give you first dose if you would like and leave supplies with you." So it seems to me that the feds got all of their text messages. Verdict number 7. On September 30th, 2023, after injecting victim Perry with K at victim Perry's residence in the Central District of California, defendant Placencia gave instructions to co-conspirator Iwamasa about how to inject K and left K and syringes with co-conspirator Iwamasa so that co-conspirator Iwamasa could administer K to victim Perry. Overt act number 8. On September 30th, 2023, co-conspirator Iwamasa paid defendant Placencia approximately $4,500 in cash per the K referenced in Overt Act number 7. Overt Act number 9. On September 30th of 2023, defendant Placencia sent text messages to co-conspirator Chavez describing the meeting with victim MP Perry, stating it was, quote, like a bad movie, and confirming that defendant Placencia would send co-conspirator Chavez payment soon. What do you suppose he meant when he said his meeting with Perry was like a bad movie? Let's just take a break from this for a second to take some questions while we're here. Chloe Albert's Revenge, good morning. Happy Monday. Thanks for the 10. Why go so far that you actually unalive the golden goose? Runaway greed, in my opinion. A little more self-control from a dealer, and he would possibly still be with us. How about a little more self-control from his assistant? You're going to see that he shot him up 4 times that day. And the final shot was something like 45 minutes after the shot before it. Thank you on top for your super sticker, as always. Cumulus Cloud, thanks for becoming a member. And Kayla Howard, thanks for becoming a member. And Cal, thanks for being an amazing moderator for me. Says, can't believe it's been 10 months. You think I rock? Thank you so very much. We're going to take a quick break from reading this document to hear a word from today's sponsor, because it is so excellent to be able to have a sponsor on this channel. And this is something that I think can really help you right now, because we've been covering a lot of data breaches that have happened recently. And there's a data breach that has just released the social security number of every single American, including you. And if you want to protect yourself, I have a solution for you. So here's a message from our sponsor of today's show, Aura. If I can get it up here. Today's video is sponsored by Aura. And it's a really important time to be talking about them, because hackers may have stolen the social security numbers of every American. Over 2.9 billion records were stolen from National Public Data, which offers personal information to employers, private investigators, staffing agencies, and others doing background checks. These stolen records include a person's full name, address, date of birth, social security number, and phone number, along with alternate names and birth date. And members of this hacker group have reportedly released this information on the dark web for free. I don't know if you've ever had your identity stolen, but I've had clients who've had their identity stolen. And not only is it a major hassle, but oftentimes before you find out, it's too late. The damage can take years to undo, and it's a hassle that you definitely do not want to deal with. So if you haven't been taking precautions before with your personal information online, this should be a huge wake-up call. You've never been more vulnerable online than you are right now. But I'm not too worried about it, because I use Aura. Aura alerts me if they find my phone number, my email, my social security number, or any other personal information on the dark web. They're going to let me know fast if anyone tries to use this information to access my credit or bank accounts. They give me up to $5 million in identity theft insurance should the worst case scenario happen. They also provide a bunch of other features to keep you safe online, all inside one app. And you can go to my link at www.aura.com/Melanie Little to try it for free for 14 days. That'll be enough time for Aura to find out if any of your personal information or data has been exposed. I highly recommend you do this right now, because not only is National Public Data not going to do anything to help you, they probably aren't even going to face any repercussions for this breach. I'm not leaving myself and my family vulnerable to data breaches. And if you don't want to either, You want to go to my link, www.aura.com/Melanie Little, to try 2 weeks for free. You can thank me later. Turn off my mic. You can thank me later. It's important, and I'm here to help. So take advantage of the free 2 week trial. I've linked it below. Melissa Crawford says we almost lost our home because of identity theft. It's not a joke. We never thought it would happen to us, and it did. And you know who's even more vulnerable? I mean, everyone is vulnerable to this. I don't think that we can say that our parents are more vulnerable, but they can be, and it may be something that you want to get for one of your, elderly parents, because things happen all the time. Crazy emails, crazy phone calls, send me money because your grandson is being held hostage in a foreign country, like crazy stuff like that. Heidi says, sadly, when you're filthy rich and struggling with ADD. Thanks. That's a great way to put it in the chat. Thanks. There are endless people who want to take advantage of you, and people who call themselves friends just want to take advantage. And I see what you did there with the word friends, and it is very, very sad. And somebody asked also if his assistant was also, and I don't know. I don't know if his assistant was. I don't know if Hollywood assistants just do whatever they're told, without caring about any ramifications because they make so much money. I mean, do they make a lot of money? I don't know. You tell me. Back to the document. In early October 2023, defendant Placencia sells additional K to co-conspirator Iwamasa. Overt Act number 10. On October 2nd of 2023, co-conspirator Iwamasa sent defendant Placencia a text message in coded language stating that co-conspirator Iwamasa wanted to purchase vials of K and not injection sessions. Quote, want to end up with 8 bottles of Dr. Pepper, not just 8 sessions. I'm assuming that the sessions happened in the doctor's office and that he wanted to do it in the luxury of his own home. Overt Act number 11. On October 2nd of 2023, in response to the text message described above, defendant Placencia confirmed he understood. Overt Act number 12. On October 2nd, 2023, ahead of a planned meeting between defendant Placencia and victim MP, Matthew Perry, defendant Placencia told co-conspirator Chavez, if today goes well, we may have repeat business. Overt Act number 13. On October 2nd, 2023, in text messages to defendant Placencia, co-conspirator Chavez discussed selling K to victim MP, stating, you should sell him the troches, TROCHES, referring to the fraudulent VB prescription. Overt Act number 14. On October 2nd, 2023, defendant Placencia traveled to victim MP's residence to inject him with the K and sell additional K, including K lozenges, i.e. the fraudulent VB prescription. Overt Act number 15. On October 2nd, 2023, in text message, defendant Placencia updated co-conspirator Chavez about his visit to victim Perry's residence, including stating he intended to administer 360 milligrams of K to victim Perry over the span of approximately 1 hour. I wish I had Dr. Cave here to ask him if that's too much or if that's a usual dose. I'm interested to know that. Overt Act number 16. On October 2nd, 2023, defendant Placencia injected victim Perry with K and sold co-conspirator Iwamasa liquid K and K lozenges from the fraudulent VB prescription in exchange for cash. Overt Act number 17. On October 2nd, 2023, in text messages with co-conspirator Chavez, defendant Placencia discussed needing additional K to sell to victim Perry. Overt Act number 18. On October 2nd, 2023, to obtain more K to sell to victim MP, Perry, co-conspirator Chavez placed an order for 10 vials of K from a wholesale distributor of controlled substances, herein known as Wholesale K Distributor 1. Overt Act number 19. On October 2nd of 2023, co-conspirator Chavez submitted a license authorization form to a different wholesale distributor of controlled substances, Wholesale K Distributor 2, for the purpose of obtaining additional K to sell to victim Perry. Among other things, the license authorization form contained false statements, including that the K will not be sold to a third party, distributed, or used for any other purpose. And I'm assuming that that is pro forma and something that doctors must do when they're dealing with a wholesaler of prescription drugs, especially narcotics. Overt Act number 20. On October 4th, 2023, in text messages using coded language, co-conspirator Iwamasa told defendant Placencia he needed to purchase additional bottles of K, stating, "I will need to get more cans of Dr. Pepper from you today. I can come to you to make it more convenient." Overt Act number 21. On October 4th, 2023, co-conspirator Iwamasa told defendant Placencia that he had successfully injected victim Perry with K, noting, "Found the sweet spot, but trying different places led to running out of K." This is on October 4th. Overt Act number 22. On October 4th of 2023, in response to the text message referred to above, defendant Placencia advised he could deliver more K to co-conspirator Iwamasa and said, "I have ideas on how to get consistent results." Remember, Placencia is a doctor, a medical doctor, who took an oath to do no harm. Overt Act number 23. October 4th, 2023, in response to co-conspirator Iwamasa's text messages requesting to purchase K now, defendant Placencia stated he was currently retrieving 4 bottles from his source, referring to co-conspirator Chavez, who's also a medical doctor. Overt Act number 24. On October 4th of 2023, defendant Placencia traveled to Irvine, California to purchase 8 vials of liquid K from defendant Chavez. Overt Act number 25. On October 4th, 2023, defendant Placencia injected victim Perry with K and sold multiple vials of K to co-conspirator Iwamasa. Overt Act number 26. On October 4th, 2023, in text messages to co-conspirator Chavez, defendant Placencia asked whether co-conspirator Chavez was having any trouble finding more K in case this continues with this guy, noting, "I think we would be best served not having him look elsewhere," because defendant Placencia wanted to, quote, "be his go-to," end quote. Chloe Albert's Revenge says, "Self-control and maybe a conscience from them all. I'd rather him be here dealing with his demons and getting help. Even if it took multiple tries, he'd be here. Getting that alert about him was tough. I read somewhere that I think during the course of his life, he spent something like, don't quote me on the exact number, but at least $6 or $7 million on rehab. He just couldn't get out from under it." And do you remember he wrote that book and he did that book tour and he gave interviews? And there was one time when he was sober. There were other interviews that he gave where he admitted that there were seasons of the TV show Friends that he doesn't even remember at all. It's really tragic. Um, and look, you can't help somebody unless they want help. It's just, if you know, you know. Overt Act number 27. On October 4, 2023, co-conspirator Chavez sent a text message to defendant Placencia stating he was working on getting more K. Overt Act number 28. On October 4th, 2023, to obtain more K to sell to victim Perry, co-conspirator Chavez submitted an order for 10 vials of K to wholesale K distributor 2. So notice that each text message is its own overt act, which leads to a lot of charges. Overt Act number 29. On October 4th, 2023, to obtain more K to sell to victim Matthew Perry, co-conspirator Chavez completed a Know Your Customer DEA questionnaire and submitted it to Wholesale K Distributor 1, knowing the document contained materially false statements, including co conspirator Chavez responding no to the question, "Do you sell any products to other practitioners?" Overt Act number 30. On October 6th of 2023, in response to co-conspirator Iwamasa advising defendant Placencia that he needed more K because he only had one left, defendant Placencia traveled to victim MP's residence and sold one or more vials of K to co-conspirator Iwamasa in exchange for cash. Defendant Placencia sells K to co-conspirator Iwamasa at 12:30 a.m. on a public street in Santa Monica, California. Overt Act number 31. On October 7th, 2023, co-conspirator Iwamasa sent text messages to defendant Placencia seeking more K and asked if he could pay with something besides cash because it's hard to get to the bank on the fly with all that's going on, which happens so fast now. Hmm. Huh. Well, will Venmo transactions and Cash App transactions now be the death of them? It was the death of Perry, sadly. Overt Act number 32. On October 7th, 2023, at approximately 11:29 p.m., and in response to text messages from co-conspirator Iwamasa, defendant Placencia confirmed he had 2 bottles of K to sell and agreed to meet in Santa Monica, California, stating, "I'm at 3rd Street Promenade now, if you'd like to meet now." Some great shopping over there at 3rd Street Promenade in Santa Monica. It's also a nice Ferris wheel. Overt Act number 33. On October 7th, 2023, at approximately 11:47 p.m., co-conspirator Iwamasa told defendant Placencia that he sent $3,000 by electronic payment, and I'm bringing 3 more leaving now. Overt Act number 34. On October 8, 2023, at approximately 12:30 a.m., defendant Placencia met with co-conspirator Iwamasa on a street corner in Santa Monica and sold co-conspirator Iwamasa K in exchange for $6,000 in cash. Overt Act number 35. How many more vials did he get? I think it's been found out that it's worth something like $12 a vial is the cost. It doesn't say how many vials, but $6,000 in cash. Overt Act number 35. October 9th, 2023, after co-conspirator Chavez received a K delivery from wholesale ketamine distributor 1, co-conspirator Chavez sent a text message to defendant Placencia stating, "Are we still meeting tomorrow? We got the shipment today. 1 box of 10 vials." Overt Act number 36. On October 9th, 2023, in response to the text message referenced in Overt Act number 35, defendant Placencia stated, "Great, yes, I'm going to probably come to you midday." Defendant Placencia injects victim Perry with K in a parking lot in Long Beach, California. I haven't read through this entire document, but no, he's shooting the doctor. This is the doctor Placencia shooting up Perry in a car in Long Beach. Overt Act number 37. On October 10th, 2023, defendant Placencia met with co-conspirator Chavez in Irvine, California, and purchased 10 vials of K, which defendant Placencia intended to sell to victim Perry. Overt Act number 38. On October 10th, 2023, in text messages, defendant Placencia and co-conspirator Iwamasa agreed to meet in Long Beach, California, so that defendant Placencia could transfer more K to co-conspirator Iwamasa. Overt Act number 39. On October 10th, 2023, defendant Placencia met co-conspirator Iwamasa and victim Perry in a public parking lot in Long Beach, California, where defendant Placencia injected victim Perry with K while inside of a vehicle. While there, defendant Placencia also provided additional vials of K to co-conspirator Iwamasa in exchange for partial payment in cash. Thank you, young Black economist, for putting out this message of hope for people who struggle with substances. You are David. A giant stands before you. You do not stand alone. Keep fighting. Patricia says, happy heavenly birthday, Matthew Perry. He would have been 55 today. It's hard to believe this was all the way back in October. It seems like yesterday. I don't know if time's just going faster the older I get. I don't know. Yeah, this is depressing. Thanks, Black Witter. Kim Robinson, my mind is blown that a doctor would inject in a car knowing who he would be driving, or did he have someone driving him? It seems that his assistant was there too. I don't know if he was giving Iwamasa a lesson in how to do it, but I hope that Iwamasa was driving. Defendant Placencia continues to sell K to co-conspirator Iwamasa and victim Matthew Perry. Overt Act number 40. On October 12th of 2023, in text messages, co-conspirator Iwamasa asked to purchase more K from defendant Placencia and noted he would pay defendant Placencia the money he owed for K that defendant Placencia already provided, as referenced in Overt Act number 39. Oh, so they're giving him an IOU. They're even fronting him to it at this point because they're making so much money off of him. Overt Act number 41. On October 12th, 2023, defendant Placencia traveled to victim Matthew Perry's residence in Los Angeles County to sell additional K to co-conspirator Iwamasa and victim Matthew Perry, for which co-conspirator Iwamasa paid defendant Placencia approximately $21,500 in cash. Here's a picture of the cash. On top of a yellow legal pad with some notes on it that I can't read, a pair of pink scissors, and what looks like a pink mechanical pencil. Overt Act number 42. On October 12th, 2023, after defendant Placencia injected victim Matthew Perry with a large dose of K that caused victim Perry to freeze up and his blood pressure to significantly spike, defendant Placencia told co-conspirator Iwamasa something to the effect of, "Let's not do that again," and nonetheless left additional vials of K with co-conspirator Iwamasa for injecting Matthew Perry. I need a breath. Let's hit the like button, please. Hit the like button. Thank you, Scott Messerschmidt. Please hit the like button or I'll turn off the air conditioning. You know. Myers, this is as a result. This indictment, Myers says, can they have a grand jury immediately to address these physicians still working? Well, this indictment is the result of the grand jury investigation. 3 of these co-conspirators mentioned here have already taken plea deals. Placencia is out on a $100,000 bond. And the K Queen, Sangha, is being held without bail. Although we're up to page number 14 of this document, and we haven't even heard a word about the K Queen yet, so she's coming in soon. Overt Act number 43. On October 13th of 2023, in response to a text message from defendant Placencia asking if co-conspirator Chavez would be interested in running a K clinic with him, co-conspirator Chavez said, interesting. And as long as we're doing things on the up and up, we can start ASAP. All done legally without any shady stuff. Having them come to the clinic will ensure this. Overt Act number 44. On October 13th of 2023, in response to defendant Placencia's asking, "Oh, so you don't agree with the method I'm currently doing?" Co-conspirator Chavez stated, It's not what I think. It's what an entity like the California Medical Board would view it, or the DEA. Well, doesn't that go to consciousness of guilt? Chavez might actually have a conscience. He took a plea deal already. Overt Act number 45. On October 24, 2023, despite less than a week earlier telling a patient at his clinic that victim Matthew Perry was too far gone and spiraling in his addiction, defendant Placencia placed an order for 10 vials of ketamine from wholesale ketamine distributor 1 so that defendant Placencia could offer to sell the K to victim Matthew Perry. Okay, wait a second. So he's discussing Matthew Perry with his patient? I mean, that's not the most horrifying thing of this entire document, but wow. I mean, this goes to knowledge. This goes to knowledge that he knew Perry was too far gone and spiraling. But anyway, let's sell him more because I'm so greedy. I just want the money and I don't care if he dies. I mean, that's the callous disregard for life. Wow. Yeah. Hi, Wrestler's mom. Hello. Good morning. It is pretty horrifying. Yes. Yes. 100%. Wait a second. I got to highlight this because Keith Marson was, I believe, the driving force behind this investigation. Proverbs 31:25 says they picked the wrong person, Matthew Perry, to mess with. Keith, bring his father. And for those of you who don't know who Keith Morrison is, he is from Dateline, and he's his stepfather. And I believe that he was the driving force behind this investigation. Ugh. Overt Act number 46. On October 27, 2023, in text messages, defendant Placencia offered to sell additional K to co-conspirator Iomasa, stating, quote, I know you mentioned taking a break. I've been stocking up in the meanwhile. I'm not sure when you guys plan to resume, but in case it's when I'm out of town this weekend, I have left supplies with a nurse of mine, and I can always let her know the plan. I will be back in town on Tuesday. Well, here comes the K Queen. Defendant Sanga and co-conspirator Fleming began selling K to co-conspirator Iwamasa and victim Perry. Overt Act number 47. On October 10th of 2023, co-conspirator Iwamasa sent a text message to co-conspirator Fleming seeking to purchase K, stating, how much do you want per bottle and what is the nice tip you want? Overt Act number 48. On October 10th, 2023, in response to the text message referenced above, co-conspirator Fleming stated, perfect, and I'll bring it to you. And getting price now, I need some upfront to pay when I pick up and rest when I deliver. Eric Fleming is the director we were talking about earlier, who directed an old film with Scarlett Johansson. Scarlett Johansson. Overt Act number 49. On October 10th, 2023, using the Signal encrypted messaging app, co-conspirator Fleming communicated with defendant Sanga about obtaining K, stating, hi, Jazz, it's Eric. Let me know your Addy. How many vials do you have availability? Overt Act number 50. On October 10th, 2023, using the Signal encrypted messaging app, co-conspirator Fleming and defendant Sanga communicated about the type and price of the K that defendant Sanga had available for sale. Overt Act number 51. October 10th, 2023, in text messages, co-conspirator Fleming told co-conspirator Imawasa that he could obtain vials of K for $300. Sent a photograph of K he proposed selling and requested a $1,000 brokering fee. So now Perry has his assistant trying to get his supply from two different suppliers, the doctors and the K Queen. Overt Act number 52. On October 11, 2023, using the Signal encrypted messaging app, defendant Senga told co-conspirator Fleming that her K was high quality and offered a sample of the drug for victim Perry to try, stating it's unmarked, but it's amazing. He'll take one and try it, and I have more if he likes. What better way to get someone hooked than to give them a free sample? Like, you're at Costco and they're giving you a potato puff so that you buy the box. Overt Act number 53. On October 11, 2023, co-conspirator Fleming sent a screenshot of defendant Sanga's message referred in Overt Act number 52 to co-conspirator Iwamasa, stating, just got this from my person. She only deals with high-end and celebs. If it were not great stuff, she'd lose her business. The Black Book, in my opinion, is going to have some celebrities, perhaps, and other power players in Hollywood and elsewhere worldwide shaking in their boots. Overt Act number 54. On October 12th of 2023, co-conspirator Fleming contacted defendant Senga to obtain a sample vial of K and advised defendant Senga that the K was intended for victim Perry. Overt Act number 55. On October 12th, 2023, after communicating with defendant Senga about her K supply, co-conspirator Fleming advised co-conspirator Iwamasa that his hookup, that is defendant Senga, was able to get the kind that is used for intermuscular. I guarantee it's going to be amazing, end quote, and sent a photograph of unlabeled, unmarked, clear glass vials of K to show co-conspirator Iwamasa what they look like. Here's the picture. And the message underneath says, this is what they look like. She sells them all day. She won't go less than $250. Let me see if I can borrow it to buy one he CB test. Probably meant he can test. But if he likes it, which I'm confident he will, he has to pay me back. Overt Act number 56. On October 12th, 2023, co-conspirator Fleming told co-conspirator Iwamasa that he was willing to facilitate the drug deal, but needed to make money, stating, I wouldn't do this if there wasn't a chance of me making some money for doing this. Overt Act number 57. On October 13th, 2023, co-conspirator Fleming drove to the Sanga stash house in North Hollywood, California, and purchased a K sample for victim Perry, which was contained inside an unlabeled, unmarked, clear glass vial with a blue cap. Overt Act number 58. On October 13th, 2023, co-conspirator Fleming drove to Matthew Perry's residence and delivered the sample K vial to co-conspirator Iwamasa, knowing that co-conspirator Iwamasa would be injecting victim Perry with the K. Defendant Sanga and co-conspirator Fleming sell 25 vials of K on October 14th of 2023. Overt Act number 59. On October 13th, 2023, co-conspirator Fleming told co-conspirator Iwamasa he could obtain as many vials. I think that's a typo. He could obtain as many vials of ketamine as co-conspirator Iwamasa requested, stating, let me know how many and I'll confirm what she can get. But as of now, she says she can fill any order. Act number 60. On October 13th, 2023, in response to the text messages referred in Overt Act number 59, co-conspirator Iwamasa told co-conspirator Fleming he would purchase 25 vials at $5,500 at $220 plus $500 for you for logistics. Act number 61. On October 14th, co-conspirator Fleming drove to Matthew Perry's residence located in the Los Angeles County and collected cash from co-conspirator Iwamasa. 62. On October 14th, 2023, co-conspirator Fleming drove to the Sanga stash house and purchased 25 vials of K from defendant Sanga. Act number 63. On October 14th, 2023, after obtaining the K referenced in Overt Act number 62 from the defendant Sanga, co-conspirator Fleming drove back to victim Perry's residence located in LA County and delivered the K to co-conspirator Iwamasa. Act number 64. On October 23rd, 2023, co-conspirator Iwamasa sent a text message to co-conspirator Fleming requesting to purchase more K, stating, "Can we do the same as last time? Again, over the next 2 days?" Thank you, Chloe Albert's Revenge, because I was thinking this too. When people say he would have gotten it from somewhere else, if not them, that may be true, or maybe not. We won't know, though, because he never got the chance, did he? Nope. We have a nope emoji left over from the Karen Reed trial. Kathy Ashby, thank you. The 5, one of the blessings I have received from my addiction issues over my lifetime is a compassionate heart, and that heart breaks for this man today. Yeah, I think you're not alone. Overt Act number 65. On October 23rd, 2023, in response to the text message referenced in Overt Act number 64, co-conspirator Fleming confirmed he could obtain more K, stating, "It'll be the same product. You want the same amount? Put the 5,500 together ASAP, and I'll come over and get it as soon as possible to get it all done tonight." Act number 66. On October 23rd, 2023, co-conspirator Fleming traveled to Perry's residence and picked up approximately 6,000 in cash from co-conspirator Iwamasa, which would be used to pay defendant Sanga for additional K. Defendant Sanga and co-conspirator Fleming sell K that co-conspirator Iwamasa uses to inject victim Perry, killing him. Let's just take a second to breathe. Black Rose, thank you for this. This is a quote from Keith Morrison, said in a statement to People magazine for the Morrison family, "We were and are still heartbroken by Matthew's death, but it has helped to know law enforcement has taken this case very seriously." Thank you, Black Rose, for being an amazing moderator. Seems like the K Queen didn't really trust Fleming. She was sending Fleming to go get the money and then to bring the money back to her at the stash house in North Hollywood. And then she would give him the product, and then she would sell. He would have to make all these trips. Act number 67. On October 24, 2023, based on information from defendant Sanga, co-conspirator Fleming sent text message updates to co-conspirator Iwamasa about the delivery and timing of the K, including stating that defendant Sanga's ketamine source, which defendant Sanga referred to as the master chef and scientist, would make the supply available and that the K was on its way to our girl, referring to defendant Sanga. Act number 68. On October 24, 2023, co-conspirator Fleming traveled to the Sanga stash house and purchased 25 vials of K from defendant Sanga in exchange for cash. As part of the transaction, defendant Sanga included K lollipops as an add-on for victim Perry, as an add-on for victim Perry's large K order. Act number 69. On October 24, 2023, co-conspirator Fleming traveled to Perry's residence with the K referenced in Overt Act number 68 and delivered to co-conspirator Iwamasa. Act number 70. On October 24, 2023, co-conspirator Iwamasa administered at least 6 shots of K to victim MP. Act number 71. On October 25th, 2023, defendant Sanga reached out to co-conspirator Fleming about the anticipated future transfers of K to victim MP, stating, "Please let me know if you think there will be another round because the scientist, he'll be gone as well. I'll have to know ahead of time to get that sorted out before we leave." Act number 72. On October 25, 2023, co-conspirator Iwamasa administered at least 6 shots of K to victim Perry. Act number 73. On October 26, co-conspirator Iwamasa administered at least 6 shots of K to victim MP. October 27th, co-conspirator Iwamasa administered at least 6 shots of K to victim Perry. On October 28th, using syringes provided by defendant Placencia, co-conspirator Iwamasa injected victim Perry with at least 3 shots of the K co-conspirator Iwamasa received from co-conspirator Fleming and defendant Senga, which resulted in the death and serious bodily injury of victim Perry. Defendant Senga directs co-conspirator Fleming to delete evidence after learning about victim Matthew Perry's death. Overt Act number 76. On October 28, 2023, after she learned about victim Matthew Perry's death resulting from news reports, defendant Senga called co-conspirator Fleming using the Signal app to discuss the co-conspirators distancing themselves from selling K to victim Perry by, among other things, deleting digital evidence on their cell phones. On October 28th, 2023, defendant Senga updated the setting on the Signal app to automatically delete her messages with co-conspirator Fleming and instructed co-conspirator Fleming, delete all our messages. Here's a screenshot of that, where Jazz set her disappearing message time to 1 hour. She says, delete all our messages, and he says, yes. Trooper Paul's IQ of 76 says, newsflash, drug dealers don't care about their customers. Yes, even Matthew Perry, when he and his money were gone, there were 5 more waiting with just as much or more money to spend. Yeah, that's the sad truth, isn't it? Proverbs says they said that when Janis Joplin died in Hollywood, several others died that same week. Bad drug batch. Very sad. Very sad indeed. Overt Act number 78 on October 30th of 2023. And so this is everything that happened after the death. That's what we're on now if you're just tuning in. Using the Signal encrypted messaging app, co-conspirator Fleming sent the following text message to defendant Senga. Please call, got more info, and I want to bounce ideas off of you. I'm 90% sure everyone is protected. I never dealt with Matthew Perry, only his assistant. So the assistant was the enabler. Also, they are doing a 3-month tox screening. Does K stay in your system or is it immediately flushed out? And this is count 2 with regard to defendant Senga. Beginning on a date unknown, but not later than in or around June 14th of 2019 and continuing to March 19, 2024, in Los Angeles County, within the Central District of California, defendant Jasveen Sangha, also known as the Ketamine Queen, knowingly opened, leased, rented, used, and maintained a place that is the Sangha Stash House located in North Hollywood, California, for the purpose of manufacturing, storing, and distributing controlled substances, including meth, a Schedule II controlled substance, and K, a Schedule III controlled substance. Here's a picture of what they found inside that stash house, or some of it. If you're not looking at the screen, I'll give you a second to look at the screen. I know a lot of you listen while you're either cleaning, working, driving, something as such like that. Just letting you know, there's a photo on the screen of what appears to be lots of equipment, vials. That's actually already bagged and tagged as evidence in this case. Count 3, defendant Sangha, on or about August 26, 2019 in Los Angeles County within the Central District of California, defendant Jasveen Sangha, also known as the Ketamine Queen, knowingly and intentionally distributed and willfully caused to be distributed K, a Schedule III controlled substance. Counts 4 through 10, defendant Placencia. On or about the following dates in Los Angeles County within the Central District of California, defendant Salvador Placencia, also known as Dr. P, while acting and intending to act outside the usual course of professional practice and without a legitimate medical purpose, knowingly and intentionally distributed K, a Schedule III controlled substance. And here's a chart of the counts and dates. Count 4, September 20th. I'm sorry. Count 4 is September 30th, 2023. Count 5, October 2nd, 2023. Count 6, 10/4, 23. Count 7, 10/6 of 23. I think that's a typo. It says 10/6/12. Count 8, 10/8, 23. Count 9, 10/10, 23. And count 10, 10/12, 23. Count 11, defendant Sangha. On or about October 13th, 2023, in Los Angeles County, within the Central District of California, defendant Jasmine Sangha, also known as the Ketamine Queen, and others known and unknown to the grand jury, each aiding and abetting the other, knowingly and intentionally distributed K, a Schedule III controlled substance. Count 12, defendant Sangha. On or about October 14, 2023, in Los Angeles County within the Central District of California, defendant Jasmine Sangha, also known as the K Queen, and others known and unknown to the grand jury, each aiding and abetting the other, knowingly and intentionally distributed K, a Schedule III controlled substance. Count 13, defendant Sangha. On or about October 24th, 2023, in Los Angeles County, within the Central District of California, defendant Jasmine Sangha, also known as the K Queen, and others known and unknown to the grand jury, each aiding and abetting the other, knowingly and intentionally distributed K, a Schedule III controlled substance, the use of which resulted in the death and serious bodily injury of victim Matthew Perry on or about October 28, 2023. Count 14, defendant Sangha. On or about March 18th, 2024, in Los Angeles County, within the Central District of California, defendant Jasmine Sangha, also known as the K Queen, knowingly and intentionally distributed K, Schedule III controlled substance. Count 15. On or about March 19, 2024, this is as to defendant Sangha, within the Central District of California, defendant Jasmine Sangha, also known as the K Queen, knowingly and intentionally possessed with intent to distribute at least 500 grams, that is approximately 1,409.7 grams, a mixture and substance containing a detectable amount of meth, a Schedule II controlled substance. Count 16, defendant Sangha. On or about March 19, 2024, in Los Angeles County, within the Central District of California, defendant Jasmine Sangha, also known as the K Queen, knowingly and intentionally possessed with intent to distribute K, a Schedule III controlled substance. Count 17, defendant Placencia. On or before February 27, 2024, in Los Angeles County, within the Central District of California and elsewhere, defendant Salvador Placencia, also known as Dr. P, knowingly altered and falsified a document and record with the intent to impede, obstruct, and influence the investigation and proper administration of a matter within the jurisdiction of the United States and in relation to and in contemplation of such matter. Specifically, in response to a legal request to produce documents, defendant Placencia provided a falsified document purportedly showing the medical treatment plan for victim Matthew Perry that included a list of specific medical services provided and maximum dose of the K defendant Placencia purportedly provided, quote, max dose 24 hours, 60 milligrams. When in fact, as defendant Placencia then well knew, defendant Placencia injected victim Perry with K dosages far in excess of 60 milligrams, and victim Perry did not agree to purchase the listed medical treatments and instead agreed to purchase bottles of K from defendant Placencia. Count 18, defendant Placencia. On or before March 1st, 2024 in Los Angeles County within the Central District of California and elsewhere, defendant Salvador Placencia, also known as Dr. P, knowingly alerted and falsified documents and records with the intent to impede, obstruct, and influence the investigation and proper administration of a matter within the jurisdiction of the United States and in relation to and in contemplation of such matter. Specifically, in response to a legal request to produce documents, defendant Placencia provided falsified and altered treatment notes for victim Perry, including the following. In all notes, defendant Placencia failed to document transfers of K for self-administration, when in fact, as defendant Placencia well knew, he sold K to co-conspirator Kenneth Imawasa and or victim Matthew Perry for self-administration at least 7 times in September and October of 2023. In notes dated October 1, 2023, defendant Placencia claimed that patient adamant I leave K solution for later use. Inform patient that he should be monitored by physician when undergoing treatment as a safety measure. Empty vials of used solution may have been placed in waste bin. When in fact, defendant Placencia then well knew, defendant Placencia offered to leave K vials with victim Matthew Perry and did in fact do so on or about September 30th, 2023. In notes dated October 7th of 2023, defendant Placencia claimed that patient scheduled to meet for treatment session but was not present. When in fact, as defendant Placencia well knew at the time, defendant Placencia arranged to meet co-conspirator Iwamasa without victim Matthew Perry present at around midnight on October 7th, 2023, to sell co-conspirator Iwamasa K in exchange for $6,000. And that meeting did in fact occur on a public street in Santa Monica, California at approximately 12:30 a.m. on October 8th of 2023. Forfeiture allegation. 1. Pursuant to Rule 32.2a of the Federal Rules of Criminal Procedure, notice is hereby given that the United States of America will seek forfeiture as part of any sentence pursuant to Title 21 U.S. Code, Section 853, in the event of any defendant's conviction of the offenses set forth in any of counts 1 through 16 of this indictment. Any defendant so convicted shall forfeit to the United States of America the following. A. All right, title, and interest in any and all property, real or personal, constituting or derived from any proceeds which the defendant obtained directly or indirectly from any such offense. B. All right, title, and interest in any and all property, real or personal, used or intended to be used in any manner or part to commit or to facilitate the commission of any such offense. C. All right, title, and interest in any firearm or ammunition involved in or used in any such offense. And D. To the extent such property is not available in forfeiture, for forfeiture, a sum of money equal to the total value of the property described in subparagraphs A, B, and C. Pursuant to Title 21 U.S. Code, Section 853P, the defendant, if so convicted, shall forfeit substitute property if, by any act or omission of the defendant, the property described in the preceding paragraph or any portion thereof cannot be located upon the exercise of due diligence, has been transferred, sold to, or deposited with a third party, has been placed beyond the jurisdiction of the court, or D, has been substantially diminished in value, or E, has been commingled with other property that cannot be divided without difficulty. And that is a true bill signed by the foreperson of the grand jury and E. Martin Estrada, the U.S. attorney in California. And that, my friends, is the indictment. Let's go to you guys for questions. Yes, his assistant did take a plea deal. 3 of them took plea deals. All the ones that were named as co-conspirators: Eric Fleming, Imawasa, and Dr. Chavez. Keeler Smith says, you can see where Perry was struggling during the show. One season, he's got healthy face fat. The next, he's a skeleton. It's sad to watch back. Yeah. It's really sad. Yes, we are doing tellies after this. We're going to start the tellies trial an hour late so that we can fast forward through lunch. So as soon as I end this stream, it's going to teleport you over to the new stream. We're going to start at 2:30 Eastern. Because the jury wasn't scheduled to be there until 10:30 Pacific. So we're going to start late so that we can fast forward through lunch and do one straight stream. So yes, we are handling that today as well. For those of you who are not familiar with the Robert Tellis trial, he's on trial in Las Vegas. He's a lawyer. He's a public official. He was a politician. And he's charged with the murder of Jeff Gehrman, who was a journalist who wrote some hit pieces on him. Jeff Gehrman was a journalist for the Las Vegas Review Journal, and he looks like Boss Baby, and we've nicknamed it the Boss Baby trial because his employees also nicknamed him Boss Baby, and it's been a fun trial to watch. Tragic, however, for Jeff Gehrman, but a refreshing trial that is moving along very quickly compared to the last two trials we watched together, which were Karen Reed and Ashley Benefield. So there's that. I do not know what the plea deals are right now. But I do know that the ketamine queen and Dr. Placencia are facing 25 years to life. I also know that Brooke Mueller, who is the ex of Charlie Sheen, was instrumental, I think, in this investigation. And apparently they may have met in rehab, Brooke Mueller and Matthew Perry, 20 years ago, something like that. So that is interesting. Let's just take a look while we're here at Sanga's Instagram, which is still up for some unknown reason, and you can see what kind of life she was living. She was living a pretty good life. Unless they took it down. Hang on. No, it's still up. Oh, they made it private. They made it private. So we can't see it anymore. But I did show you that picture of her with what looks like Charlie Sheen. So who knows? Who knows what's coming next? But it's good to know that somebody's going to be held responsible for the death of Matthew Perry. Stephanie says it's refreshing to watch a righteous prosecution, good prosecutors who aren't dramatic and liars, and a professional judge. Yeah, you're talking about the Tellis trial. Sarah says, I hope this goes to trial. If it does, it won't be televised because it's federal court. No cameras in federal court. So we will keep on top of it. I'll keep on top of it for you. We'll come back and discuss as things develop in this case. As I said before, Sanga is being held without bail. Here's something else from her Instagram that you may have seen. Did screenshot some of it, so there's that. You may have seen this one in the media. This is a post from November 2019. She's currently 41 years old. And that is where we stand right now, my friends. Looking at 25 to life. I think we did go over the plea deal for Eric. I think he's facing something like up to 25. Let me just double check that. Fleming is the one who was a director, a Hollywood director. Lives in Hawthorne. I think he's facing up to 25 years. We went over that in the beginning. So I'm going to assume the other two. But in my opinion, it's kind of like his assistant was the one who gave him the deadly dose. I don't know why they're kind of like letting that guy just plead out. Right? And I think that it was revealed also in the media the other day that Matthew Perry's final words, I think this was also in the document, to Imawasa were, shoot me up with a big one. meaning another dose of K shortly before he was found face down and unresponsive in his hot tub on October 28th of 2023. And apparently, on the day of his death, Imawasa was asked by Perry to administer his first dose at 8:30 a.m. He received his second dose about 4 hours later as he was watching a movie at his $5.2 million mansion in Los Angeles. He then asked his assistant to administer his third dose and to get his jacuzzi ready. After obeying his boss, Imawasa left Perry home to run errands. He returned to find him deceased in the hot tub, as you may recall, because we went over that right away when it happened. So at least there may be some justice. Very sad. Very sad. And that is where we are right now. Okay, my friends, we're going to take a little break. Yeah, exactly. Shantae's Inferno says, I agree, Melanie, but maybe the assistant sang like a canary, as they say. Yep. Guess they wanted to get the top of the pile, including K Queen, who is responsible for another death from 2019 and lived a really fabulous lifestyle of the rich and famous from all of the money that she was making um, dealing drugs out of her North Hollywood stash house. She's definitely not looking like that in jail. Yep. Ned, 25 years is 25 years in federal court, federal prison, club fed, as they call it. Yes. Thank you, little cupcake. May he rest in peace. Who knows what K Queen was out on bail for? She wasn't out on bail. When was she out on bail? Unless she was out on bail for the 2019 death. Is that what you're saying? Yeah, it would be good to see before and after pictures of her. Yep, betting there's lots of K Queens in Hollywood. That is true. Was on ID last night? Yeah, it's a lot. This is a lot. I agree with you, Colors Flight. And we're going to wrap this for right now. We're going to come back as soon as I hit end on this. We're going to teleport over to the afternoon stream of the Telus trial, which will start in about an hour and a half. Just go on over there, hit the notification bell so you can come back and we can watch the day 4. It's only day 4 of this trial, which I cannot believe, of the Telus trial out of Las Vegas. And I will see you over there. Safe travels. Thanks, mods for keeping the chat classy. Please hit the little subscribe button below and the thumbs up because YouTube likes that. It helps the algorithm somehow. And be cool, be kind, be classy, safe travels. And I will see you in about an hour and a half. Go take a break. You won't miss a thing. Peace.